Warning. If you're here for a Hot Wheels review and have no desire to watch a supplemental cringy sketch, this episode begins with, please consider skipping arguably the most expensive and difficult part of that whole ordeal. There will be a link in the description for that specific purpose. Your attention please. Welcome to Insomnia Nightclub. We are proud to present our tonight's exclusive entertainer. Please welcome Professor Atabadze.
Gentlemen and ladies, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Rejoice, fuels the region, watch him dance like a pigeon from the land of broken dreams, the worst entertainer, or so it seems. Atabadze, the professor, desperation and boredom, aggressor, kiss your nerves goodbye as he passes you by. Atabadze, the professor, desperation, boredom, aggressor. Certain people died that night at Insomnia Nightclub. 12 of boredom and or ear laceration, while one mysteriously fell from the bicycle, but we still suspect foul play. Commissioner Dongor gave his commentary on that case. Yeah, that was some commentary. As for Professor Atabadze, the madman remains at large. In other news, Tim Burton's Batman, a classic superhero movie from 1989, turns 30. They wanted to commemorate this better than Professor just did, butchering his way through a dreadful parody of Prince's masterpiece Party Man. I decided to review some cool merch from my collection. Or more specifically, of one of my collections, set of nearly every possible Batmobile as released by Hot Wheels. First version of 1989 Batmobile by Hot Wheels I have ever encountered was this one. And it sparked one too many questions from overall disproportion, which was not evident in the movie. As you can see, this car virtually has no visibility from the driver's seat. To the fact that package says Batman, but features production still, if not a screenshot from Batman Returns, an equally great 1992 sequel, which is immediately recognizable because of Penguin's mayoral campaign poster in the background and the fact that Batman's emblem is a classic one, because in 1989 they were not able to use it for most part in the movie, in the costume, and they came up with a slightly different one. I suspected it to be a bootleg at first because, well, that kind of attention to detail in packaging is exactly what you would expect from people who made, for example, this monstrosity. But it turns out that it is a repackage for a local market of a little something known as hard-nosed Batmobile. Designed by Harold Belker, it was first released in 2004 as a part of Hard Nose, first edition's Hard Nose series. Another 2017 release, which will be my main focus for today, is a much more spot-on depiction of what we see in the movie. Designed in 2004 by Rob Mattis, it does a great job at reflecting that collective design effort that went into 1989 Batmobile. Main designer of that car in 1989 was Julian Caldo, who was directly supervised by production designer Anton Furst and director Tim Burton. I've never been good at opening Hot Wheels, to be honest. That's why most of them are sealed in my case, in my collection. Anyway, main body of the car was sculpted by Keith Short and Eddie Butler, after original designs by Julian Caldo. But actual build of the car is a magnificent hodgepodge of assorted details. For example, chassis is from Chevrolet Impala, engine was as well. Fuel caps, I believe, here they are in the model, were taken from a London bus. And then, of course, there are jet engine details, specifically from a Harrier jump jet. Namely the turbine and, of course, an afterburner, which became a staple of Batmobiles thanks to the movie. Tail lights are from Ferrari, while headlights were taken from a very consumer-level Honda Civic and were added by art director Terry Oakland Shaw, who noticed them on his wife's car. Why I really like that approach to design is because it fully reflects the character of Batman. It is a hodgepodge of different details from different cars, just as Batman created himself, this enigmatic figure skilled in everything at once, from the scratch using very unconventional methods. It is only but natural that his car, which he undoubtedly built himself in this universe, is a reflection of himself and uses different parts acquired from different places. Something he noticed here and there and put on a design which he supposed will be perfect for his very specific purposes. Again, complementing what Rob Mattis did on reflecting designs from the movie, I think we will do a little comparison with Hot Wheels' rendition of Tumbler from Batman Begins, which is, I guess, my second favorite Batmobile after Burton's version. As you can see, it is also a really good rendition which more or less uses all the same elements we can see in the 2005 movie. However, there are a few details which are noticeably off. And the main part that always bugged me, despite I really love Hot Wheels rendition of Tumbler, are these shells which protect the wheels. Because you see, a real Tumbler has wheels on the inside, and this is not reflective of how it looks at all. Also notice that even 2005 version of Batmobile, which was never even called Batmobile on screen, features an afterburner, something that was conceived in 1989. It is an interesting parallel on how both movies treat character of Batman. They use some of the same components. However, I feel like 1989 Batman, despite many character flaws and questionable choices in characterization, has an interesting component about him being a man of different cultures, a hodgepodge. While Christian Bale Batman only acquires a military prototype from his own firm, from his own company. It is very reflective about general approach and storytelling. While 1989's Batman was less concentrated, and that is a flaw, I feel like 1989's Batman is much more concentrated on reflecting comic book version of Batman, what makes Batman an interesting and relatable character, even though many people say that it's really hard to relate to Michael Keaton's version of Batman. So, I suppose I should draw some conclusion about 1989 Batman and probably give this little Batmobile a few rides, because Hot Wheels are good on the shelf, but they're even better on the track. Of course, this is not exactly a track, it's a kitchen table, because every great YouTuber uses a kitchen table to review things, and a teacup to have something in the shot. So, 1989 Batman as viewed from the car perspective. Legendary. 1989 Batman as viewed from just about any perspective. Legendary, but idiosyncratic. Just as this car, it's a hodgepodge of different elements acquired in different genres, in different eras, in different styles of filmmaking, of architecture, of everything. But surprisingly it works because pop culture in itself is eclectic. Postmodernism was on the rise in 1989, although arguably at this point it already started to turn into postmodernism. So, 1989 Batman is a great postmodernist movie. And to be honest, it really holds up well in 2019, because to be honest, 2019 is the new 1989. Welcome to the new 90s, kids.